San Miguel TV, man. Waiting for somebody to come on, man. I'm waiting for Hebrew Israelite to join. I actually invited a few of these guys. I've done this in the past. Last week, I believe I had somebody on. We had some technical difficulties, so I hope that tonight things go better. Welcome to San Miguel TV. I am the one and only San Miguel. If you've been on this channel before, you know I tend to come on here and embarrass the people that call themselves Black Hebrew Israelites, man. Who the hell are the Black Hebrew Israelites, man? People that put out, you know, images like that, AI images like that, maybe like that. It's some funny stuff going on over here. Some funny stuff. You got white people like this that join the Hebrew Israelite movement that think that they are indigenous or black, which to them it's one and the same. They believe that indigenous Americans who derive from Asian Americans, from East Asians, Siberians is the ancestor of the modern Native Americans. These people will make you think that the original indigenous people of America are actually black people. Some real craziness. Um, but this is what they do, and it's only in their imagination. It's just how their imaginations can run wild. I've been wanting to do certain videos about different topics. I do a lot of videos on the Black Hebrew Israelites. I've been recently talking about Marcus Chenault. If y'all don't know, this is Marcus Chenault, who learned that he was a real Hebrew Israelite from a Hebrew Israelite group based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And Marcus Wayne Chenault Jr., Marcus W. Chenault Jr., is actually the murderer of Martin Luther King's mother. Martin Luther King's mother, Alberta King, was murdered by a Hebrew Israelite. A lot of people don't know that, but this is actually true. And this is him right here. Um, he was driven on his birthday to a church in Georgia where Alberta King was playing the organ. And while she was playing the organ, Mr. Marcus W. Chenault Jr. shot her and two other patrons, and I believe a church leader, a bishop of this church in Georgia, where it was said that Martin Luther King spent some of his earlier days in. And he was quoted to say that Christians are the enemies of God and the enemies of God's people. This is Marcus Chenault, the murderer of Martin Luther King's mother, Alberta King. This man, Marcus Chenault, was a black Hebrew Israelite who learned from a Hebrew Israelite group based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm going to tell y'all things that y'all don't typically, hear. This is what we do on San Miguel TV, waiting for Hebrew Israelites to come on, any and every. Shout out to GTAG489. Shout out to Isaac Black. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and a like. Subscribe to my joint. I do this pretty regularly. It's Friday night. Hebrew Israelites are on the Sabbath day. They're going to claim that they can't come out and fight. They can't come out and do anything. But, we're still here. We're going to challenge you guys. We're going to see who's really real. And, what's going on right now, man. Sergeant Meow was good. He's saying America is cooked. I doubt it. America is looking really good right now after Iran has been pummeled. Venezuela's done. Cuba's looking horrible. Russia's not looking too strong, and neither is China right now. So America's actually in a good position to become even more powerful than they already are. So I don't know what you mean. What's good, Mayan Stevenson? Welcome to the channel. What's good, Murph? Everybody, welcome. Mayan Stevenson, welcome back, should I say. He's a regular. and probably still consider him. I think I still have you as a moderator, but I'm gonna share this to Facebook. Hopefully, it doesn't cause. All right, so I'm back. My bad. Yeah, I mean, it's a power move that America's making right now. People say that, oh, it's because Israel forced America into doing this. Israel and America have been allies, and America has been the enemy of Iran or Iran. America has been their enemies, man. And I ran so far away. Welcome to San Miguel TV, where we speak the truth. Sometimes we troll, and sometimes we keep it trill. Always keep it trill, rather. I need to come up with a slogan for San Miguel TV. Something that I usually say when I come on. So I'm trying to see what catches on right now. Yeah, but you know, people don't realize global geopolitics, what's really going on in this world. I think yes, everything is money, everything is power, and in the long run, if you live in America, this is actually going to benefit you. America now has more leverage on these tariffs than they did when Trump initially started negotiating these things with China. So this is actually a smart move. And if you are against America, I would understand why you would be mad and you are waiting for the downfall of America. You think Iran really has some type of shot or some chance to destroy this country, and you're crazy right now. Like, do you understand the type of military defense weapons that the United States and Israel both have? I mean, they've been funding each other in order to build military weapons together, is actually what's going on between Israel and the United States. We give a lot of money to Israel, more than I would prefer, as a tax-paying fucking citizen out here, of course. But it is what it is, man. And I think that Israel has very few allies in the Middle East. And this is the reason why America's showing up and showing out. And Iran really is just looking, they're getting their asses beat right now. And people are dying left and right. And war is never pretty. Yeah, we do what we do. Yeah, a self-made slave, man. Like, people compare modern citizens, working class citizens, to slaves. A slave is a person who lives, who works with no wages, laboring without wages. That's a slave. If you think that you are a slave or that we are slaves here in America, I would implore you to look into what's happening in Mali, which is in Africa, in West Africa, and tell me if that equates to what's going on in America, what they're doing to actual slaves, people that they own as property in the country of Mali in Africa. They talk about Black Lives Matter, but they don't want to talk about what's going on in Africa. Because Black Hebrew Israelites don't care about Africans. They don't believe they're Africans. They believe that they are the enemies of the Africans are their enemies, and everybody's their enemies. It's a weird, weird placement when you start to identify as a Hebrew Israelite. You got people like this that say the white man is the devil, but this is clearly a white man right here. Clearly. He looks like Caesar Borgia, actually. But, I want to talk to Hebrew Israelites. I want to see where y'all at. This is a game of chess, my friends. This is a game of chess. the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And all the king's men, right? But this is what we got to look forward to right here, is this judgment from, you know, a cosmic power. This is the cosmic judgment that we have to look forward to right here. You see that guy right there? You see that man? This is what we got to look forward to right here, baby. But yeah, man, we're gonna keep talking to Hebrew Israelites, talking about Hebrew Israelites, welcoming y'all to come in. I implore you to come in. I invite you on and into San Miguel TV, the world of San Miguel, el mundo de San Miguel. Bienvenidos a San Miguel. Kick your feet up. Stay with me a while. It's still early. The night is a puppy. It's only 10:33 p.m. Eastern Time. I got into it with Black Hebrew Israelites today. We were talking about Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7, where it mentions that surely oppression, maketh a wise man mad. They're talking about, the scripture is talking about mad meaning crazy, right? Madness, foolishness, debase. You're debased. You are lost. You've lost your mind. You've gone mad, is how it goes. It's the saying. You've gone mad. You've lost your wits, and you no longer have your marbles. You've gone mad. That's what Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and 7 is talking about. These guys will make you think that it's talking about being angry. So anytime they're asked, which is pretty regularly, somebody would ask them, well, why are you so angry? They'll say that oppression makes a wise man mad. I'm mad because I'm oppressed. I'm a black man, and the black man is the first fire and the last hire. We were called this and that, and they have this whole entire spiel, that they just regurgitate, that they've been parodying, off of their, which they learned from their leaders. Their leaders taught them to speak a certain way, to rebuttal and respond a certain way, that they don't even really understand what they're saying. That's why when you start to ask deeper questions about Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7, the actual Hebrew, what's the Hebrew talking about? What does the Hebrew say about Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7? What does it mean that oppression makes a wise man mad? It's actually talking about bribery. Bribery makes a wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. A gift will destroy the heart, meaning your heart is your mind. You go crazy in your mind. That's why oppression makes a wise man crazy, and a gift destroys the heart. It's actually all speaking about your heart or your mind. That's why it says oppression makes a wise man mad. He used to be wise, then he became mad, which means foolish. The opposite of foolish is wise. The opposite of wise is foolish. It's very simple what the Bible's telling you. As long as you read it with an open mind, with an open heart, you can actually understand these things. But when you're being puppeted by manipulators, cult leaders, you're forced to think a certain way, and you cut off all possibilities and all other options of what the scriptures could be talking about. But yeah, much love to my Christians in the house. It's very easy to point out the ignorance of these so-called Black Hebrew Israelites. They don't even like to be called Black Hebrew Israelites anymore. They actually were the ones that started calling themselves that. So when they came on the scene, they were calling themselves Black Hebrew Israelites. And, now people call them, we'll call them Black Hebrew Israelites based off of, their own words, their own self-identification. They told us from the beginning that they consider themselves Black Hebrew Israelites because we're the real Hebrew Israelites. The real Hebrew Israelites are black. Now they're telling you that they don't want to be called Black Hebrew Israelites anymore, that's actually degrading. because we're calling them black. If you go back to the 90s, I'm actually gonna do a video on this, post a link that shows you that these guys were calling themselves Black Hebrew Israelites for a long time. You could actually still go to the link where the ICUPK, which is now called the ICDJC, formerly the ISUPK, the original ISUPK, not Johanna's group, but the Israeli School of Universal Practical Knowledge. They changed their name to the ICUPK, the Israeli Church of Universal Practical Knowledge, in order to get the 501c3 tax benefits. They changed their name from Israeli School to Israeli Church. Go on their website where they were selling the More Amazing Facts book. More Amazing Facts of the Black Hebrew Israelites. That's the title of the book that they were selling. And you could still go to the link right now. If you know, which I'll show you. I'll post a video in the next few days about that whole Black Hebrew Israelites. So we don't like to be called Black Hebrew Israelites. That's degrading. Captain Tazariak, you idiot. He came out here and said that's like calling somebody the N word when you say that we're Black Hebrew Israelites. That's insane, man. When we got videos of Johanna saying that y'all are Black Hebrew Israelites, it's just crazy. Straight white male says a black person has never been a king. I mean, you got King Mansa Musa, who was, Mali. He was from Mali, so he was a black person. Black. What if I just walked in the backdrop of the green screen and just took a Yeah, yeah, that would be amazing. That would be so amazing, man, and you would become famous. And Iran so far away. Oppression maketh the wise man mad, right? Do you see that? You see that right there? Halal. Whew. That word halal is how you say mad, you know? That's why it says, oppression maketh a wise man mad. Mad. And then you see Yahalal, actually. Yahalal is at the bottom there. That would be mad. Oppression maketh a wise man mad. And this is what, they're driven to madness. Madness meaning foolishness. They think it's talking about anger, but we know for sure, this is like verifiable evidence. This is not like up to debate where we could just guess. Well, the word mad has two different meanings. It could be angry or it could be crazy. Yeah, it could be angry or it could be crazy. Typically in Old British English, when we're talking about mad, we're talking about crazy. When we talk about angry, that's when we're talking about being upset, extremely upset. It's talking about anger. That's why the Bible says that the Lord has a righteous anger. It's talking about being angry. That's how it words it. And never words when you're angry as mad. I don't think I've read a scripture where it references or it displays the word mad in the King James version as angry. I think almost every time, if not every time, the word mad when it comes up in the Bible is speaking about being crazy, foolish, not angry. This is old British English. That's how they speak. That's how they spoke. This is why using the King James version of the Bible is sometimes these people can barely even speak English. These are people that coming straight out of the hood, damn, speaking Ebonics. They can barely speak English, man. They don't even understand some of the words that they're talking about. And you give them the King James version of the Bible, they don't know what the hell to do with that thing. So it's pretty crazy. But I invited Hebrew Israelites to join the live stream, Black Hebrew Israelites, and they were invited to come on. I don't have much time, but the little bit of time I do have, y'all can come on, join the live stream. We're gonna be here for a while, for a little while. Talk to me. Although, this is a comment here by Mayan Stevenson. Although they may have a misunderstanding, they're correct in some way because BHI are crazy as hell. That's what I'd be saying. I use that whole understanding of that verse against them because it's they're using the verse to try to justify them being hateful and evil and angry all the time. They try to use that verse to justify their hatred against white people, their hatred against everybody. Black Hebrew Israelites are racist as hell. Nobody cares though, because it's not a white person being racist. If it was a white group, if it was a cult of white people out here talking about the black man is evil and the black man's the devil, you would know all about this shit already. But you got a few people that get um, any type of traffic on their YouTube channels when they post stuff about Black Hebrew Israelites, because you got to know what you're talking about. You have to actually expose their inner workings. And I used to be a member of the Hebrew Israelite cult called the ICGJC, so I know about their inner workings. I'm not just talking shit. These guys literally want to take over the world. They want to take over America from the inside. They want to put themselves in positions of power from the inside, unaware, and sneakily try to make some type of provisions and write some type of bills. And I don't know what they think that they're going to do. But Muslims have the same idea too. You have people that come over here to the West that are infiltrators. They're actual Muslims that hate America, and they want to position themselves in positions of power in the government in this country and try to take over the country from within. This is already known. We got people like Ilhan Omar who hates America. She is a Somalian is she an immigrant? I don't know if she actually migrated, but she's Somalian Muslim who hates this country. She surely does. She says the white man is the most evil thing on this earth right now. How do you calculate any of that? Hey, it was good, Mega. Was good, nostalgic. Welcome everybody. San Miguel TV. Give this video a thumbs up. Let's circulate it. I'm live streaming right now from an undisclosed location. The real term one says BHI are just another form of Karen. They don't do anything beneficial to anyone and spend their waking hours looking for things to offend them. They definitely are constantly looking for things that offend them. They want to go into the history, American history. What can I be mad about today that happened in American history? It's crazy. Pseudo liberal, what's good? Bienvenidos, welcome. Oh, Miguel, that's your name too. Well, welcome, Miguel. You're from Portugal, nothing but love, man. Shout out to you. My ancestry goes back, a lot of my DNA goes back to Portugal and Spain and the whole Iberian Peninsula. Very common name, Miguel. It's Michael, pretty much. But yeah, we're here talking about Black Hebrew Israelites. We're talking about these hateful, so-called religious group. They claim to be the chosen people of God, the real Jews, and they hate Jewish people. They hate America, and they're actually siding with Iran right now. They're trying to make it seem like we don't care about Iran or Iran. We don't care about them. We just love to see Jewish people get blown up. That's what they'll tell you. They really don't care about geopolitics. They don't understand it at all. They just see this war going on and they think that this is going to be the initiation of the second coming of Black Jesus Christ. And now they might have some type of power as a damn a nobody in America, that's running a cult that might be a captain of 13,000 or a three shield general in the Israel United in Christ Hebrew Israelite cult, you know, and that's what it is. I have kitty cats in my. I don't get into politics. Shout out, brother. Yeah, I try to stay away from politics too, man. But it always pulls me in. I love talking about all that stuff. Yeah, Jesus was definitely not a white Caucasian European, but some people in that region are considered Caucasian, which is funny because Egyptians are even considered Caucasian. Look it up. I think that Jesus Christ looked like what an Egyptian today looks like, or a person from Afghanistan or Palestine, or some people in Israel might look like that too. You have a lot of Polish, European, um, Romanian, even European DNA that is mixed with modern Jews that live in the land of Israel today. So, they're not going to look as brown as they used to, but the DNA results show you that Palestinians, Jews, and many so-called Arabs or Arabs are descendants of Canaanites and Israelites. They are all the same people, essentially, with a little mixture, with a little mixture going on there. Yeah, no, Jesus was not a black person, actually. That's crazy. As a Mexican, that's what you're going to say? This is crazy. Yeah, they think everything is fulfilling prophecy. It's just insane. But Booker T, man, rest in peace to Booker T. But yeah, Kevin, if you want to come on, you said you want to talk. I posted the link to join the live stream. He said worship Black American men. That's disgusting. Yeah, that's kind of sad. You have to degrade yourself and think that like we've been trained by the entertainment industry to think that the black man is like the epitome of coolness and entertainment and everything, and power and wisdom and all of that. Like that's actually what the Hollywood and the rap industry is pushing. It's like all this craziness that is really degrading too, because they're showing you that black Americans can only be so good. This is the best that they can do. And they train them to perfect Ebonics. They don't want you to speak proper English. They tell you that speaking improper English is actually good enough. And like everybody else just has to follow suit and follow along with that. And we got to understand what they're saying, which is complete bullshit. You know, um, I watched this video and I posted it, and it's not circulating. I'm telling you, they do not want to circulate some of the videos that I post. But it's a black mother that's sitting there on a video with her child, forcing her child to speak English improperly. Instead of saying, "What are you supposed to be doing today?" she teaches her to say, "What you supposed to be doing tomorrow." That was the last short I posted, and they held that video the hell back, man. It's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of this guy's a troll for sure. He's just a real troll is on the live stream right now. I get them all the time. I put this live stream, I put this link all on Hebrew Israelite channels. Hebrew Israelites are big time trolls. When it comes time for them to actually come and do an actual debate and have a conversation about why they believe Jesus Christ is black, we can go into those scriptures. Actually, if you look at the way that black Americans started speaking in New York, they got that from the Italians and being around Italians, because the southern blacks spoke completely different. And then when they moved to New York, they started working alongside of Italians and Irish people and Jewish people too, and they picked up on that slang. If you go into that history of the black man in New York City, because the black man's lingo was completely different in the South when they came from the South and came up to the North. And then they started changing the way that they spoke, and you can see that they started speaking like actual Italians, where you can see this stand-up bit that Eddie Murphy did where he said that Italians sound like niggas. And what he didn't realize is because black people actually got that way of talking from Italians, not vice versa. So it's real funny how that works, isn't it? Nah, Chris, we know that you're a troll. We can tell that you're a troll. But keep talking. We're watching. Yeah, a lot of y'all don't really understand the real history of this country and the migrations, of certain people from the south to the north, from different countries like Italy to Americas. When the Italians started flooding New York City, and Irish people, and they worked alongside black people. Irish and Italians were looked down on by your uppity white people in this country. They were actually looked down on. And you even have a quote by Benjamin Franklin in 1753 where he's referring to Italians, Greeks, Irish, and even Swedish people as swarthy Europeans. Swarthy means black. He was calling these tan skin, somebody that's like me, swarthy, to kind of downplay them. And he was saying that they're not really pure Europeans. He was kind of downplaying Italians and these, what they call, some black people would call spicy Europeans, which is not so white and so pale like somebody from England, from Wales, or something like that. These are people from the Mediterranean, and they're considered a little bit more brown, and just a little bit of brown caused white people, certain racist white people, to turn on those Italians and Greeks and Irish people, and they wouldn't let them succeed. They redlined them. They Mexicans were redlined too. It wasn't just black people. People love to victimize the black man, like the black man is the biggest victim ever. And y'all treat black people like babies, man. Y'all treat them like they can't do no good. And y'all lower their um their standard of what they could and can't do. It's lowered for them, and you allow them to be a certain way. And when white people, I've seen white people do the same things that black people would do sometimes, and they get treated like they're no good. But a black person, you can let them slide. They can fight police. It's okay for them to get mouthy, to resist arrest, to question everything a police officer says, because they're scared. They're just scared. They're in fear of their life because of blase blah. It's like, come on, man. Yeah, we're still over here. People are still talking about the Ku Klux Klan today, when we have black people that are posting AI images on Facebook like this, and nobody reports it. It doesn't get taken down. It actually keeps getting shared, and it's a joke, and it's funny. And you can post something like this all day, but if the reverse was to happen, that shit will get flagged, and everybody be called a racist. But I'm gonna keep this photo up here for you guys to see, and you guys don't have any problem with this. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. There's a lowered standard for what you deem acceptable that black people can do. This is acceptable for black people to do. But if it was the reverse, and it was a white person holding a black person's head, you would say this is way too far. You should know better as a white person. I won't allow this. But when a black person posts something like this, you think that black people shouldn't know any better, and that this is normal for them to think this way and to behave this way. And they're allowed to be racist, And black people can be racist, according to damn Democrats, progressives, socialists, people on the left. They say black people can't be racist. That's literally a common saying, and you can look it up. And there are intellectuals that will tell you, "Well, see, the unintellectualism of the phrasing of a black man being racist is just it's just based out of ignorance because we don't have the power to be racist because racism equals power plus prejudice and this and you don't know what's going on right now in this country, man. I'm trying to tell y'all how backward everything is right now. Listen, take it from a person that used to be in a black Hebrew Israelite cult, spewing out nothing but hate out in these streets on a microphone, on a loudspeaker. Me, my white ass, my European ass looking Dominican, I used to be out here saying the white man is the devil and you're gonna pay for what you did and blah blah blah. All that shit is old and tired, and it's nothing but division, causing nothing but division. And I see the same type of doctrine and narrative being pushed all through BLM, all through these pro-black groups. Why can't they be pro-black without being anti-white? It's like these groups cannot just be pro-black. They got to be anti-white at the same time and can't just be pro-black. You can't just be pro-black without being anti-white. You have to put down a white person in order to make yourself feel better. There's an inferiority complex going on. Is what's this was really going on. We can see it clearly. Um, they want to be King James. They want to be Beethoven. They claim that Mozart was black. They'll show you images of a black composer from France who was considered the black Mozart. I think his name was Joseph Bologna. You know how the word Bologna is spelled? Joseph Bologna. Look up Joseph Bologna. He's a half black, right? His mother was Senegalese. His father was French, white, European. And he became a great composer. He was called the Black Mozart, and he was even greater than Mozart. He existed before Mozart. He was well known before Mozart even became big, but Mozart became very big, and that was the thing. Joseph Bologna, he didn't become that big. These IUIC members, you're gonna see a video that I'm gonna post in the future. They used the image of Joseph Bologna, and they said that the Mozart was really black. And here's his image, and it's really Joseph Bologna. Let me see if I can find any photos of him. It's kind of ridiculous, though. It's like you don't want to be who you are. You want to be something else. Because you're ashamed of who you are. They use the image of this guy right here, a British composer by the name of Samuel, I forget, and they try to say that this is Beethoven. You know, this is not the image of Beethoven. Beethoven, man. This is Afrocentric bullshit, man. This Pan Africanism movement that rushed through Harlem, way decades ago, man. We can see it. They use a bunch of these same lies. They'll tell you that everybody's black. They want to attach themselves to something that they're not in order to lift themselves up. It's very sad what's happening. We have to point out the actual popular and progressive and very motivating black figures in history, the real ones. But don't take a white figure, a white historical figure, and try to say that he was black. And this person's half white. They want to just claim anybody, whether they're half part white or not. It doesn't matter. Just as long as, hey, man, we will take them. Damn, I thought I had more photos. I guess I have actual videos of Joseph Bologna. Um, but I'll come out with that real soon. I'll come out with that real soon. But Going back to this guy right here, I'm gonna make another video of Marcus Wayne Chenault. That's good that you're a proud Mexican, man. Chris Gonzalez. Good, 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 good. There's listen, there's a lot of bullshit beliefs out here, but I don't see white people trying to take black historic figures and try to claim them as their own, like I see black people taking white historic figures and try to claim them like they were really black. I don't see white people doing that. Now, not today at least. Like they'll tell you Jesus Christ was not white. They'll tell you Jesus Christ was Middle Eastern or somebody from the Levant, from Asia Minor, which is not sub-Saharan African, and it's not European, it's not white. That's what white people will tell you today. But black people today will tell you, no, Jesus Christ was black. He was black, like his skin was burnt brass and his hair was like wool, they'll tell you. When the Bible tells you that Jesus Christ's hair was white like wool, it tells you his head and his hair was white like wool. His head and his hairs is speaking about his whole head. His whole head was shining white, and that has nothing to do with being black. I mean, if the Bible tells you in the book of Daniel that his face was as the appearance of lightning, that means that his face was shining bright. It has nothing to do with being black or nothing like that at all. It's actually bright. Like everything shows you its brightness. Even Revelation chapter 1 verse 16 tells you that his countenance was like the sun. His appearance was like lightning, it tells you. This is what the scriptures literally will tell you. You know, I'm trying to get these Hebrew Israelites to come on to join. I really don't think it's gonna happen. And it's a goddamn shame that these guys will talk as much shit as they do online. And then when it comes time for you to actually join a live stream and go, actually do this shit live, you cannot have a conversation. You bitch out. But yeah, man. I mean, I do this shit all the time, man. I've been doing videos on, Black Hebrew Israelite. This is the article that speaks about Marcus Chenault, how he was an avid student, and this is the New York Times did an article on the mentor of Marcus Chenault. So a lot of people don't know that Martin Luther King's killer, or Martin Luther King's mother's killer, Alberta King, was a black Hebrew Israelite, by the name of Marcus Chenault Jr. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see, more videos. You want to see actual history being posted. What is a black Hebrew Israelite? Black Hebrew Israelite is a black nationalist that claims to be a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob through so-called prophecies, through private interpretations of the scriptures. They'll tell you that they're a certain identity or they are a certain genealogy based on a certain interpretation of a scripture. They like to use Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, which refers to the land of Egypt, which talks about slaves selling themselves and not being bought, is what the Bible tells you in Deuteronomy 28:68. And then it tells you that the stranger that is within thee, which is talking about other nations that is within your land, shall get up over you. If your land is Israel and the stranger is somebody from another nation being in your land, then that doesn't have anything to do with black people being in America, which is they're the strangers in America. And if that's the case, the strangers in America would be black people. If you want to say that, the black people in America are the Israelites, and this is not their land, which I don't think so. I think that this land belongs to everybody, Black, Hispanic, white, Asians, Middle Eastern. This land belongs to everybody. This is a great thing about America. But come in here the right way. That's all I got to say about that. Like somebody said in the comment section earlier, they don't want to get political. I can't avoid it nowadays. It's like everything gets turned into a political thing. Everything gets turned into a racial thing too. And I respond to I'm only responding to those things. I don't bring it up upon, just because I want to. It's actually something I'm responding to. It's nothing. This is all I see all day. People talking about race. You know, I do videos on all types of stuff, but I want to focus on what's going on in the Black and Hispanic community, what's going on with ICE, the immigration, police. All of that shit is something that I like to focus on. You know what I mean? Because it affects all of us. But yeah, ignoring it is not going to change it. And my genre of videos is heavily like involved with that type of stuff anyways. So it's like, how can I avoid it? My genre of videos is not like food tasting or traveling, or it is. I mean, even if I did a travel video and I was to have conversations with people, I know that eventually something political would come up for sure, especially if I'm traveling within this country. It's this the environment right now is very political, and I don't, it sucks that we get pinned against each other. We just can't have normal debates and normal conversations because people, they identify with a certain political agenda, political narrative, or political team. Once they join that team, they got to fight for that team, and they don't want to look weak. They don't want to look uninformed. They want to represent. But you better know what you're representing, better know what you're getting involved in, and what you think you believe in, and what you think that you stand for. What are we really standing for in this country? Are we united in what we stand for? We know that Hebrew Israelites, these so-called black Hebrew Israelites, they're not united with Americans. They don't care about this country. They're like sugar mama that wants to be with a certain person just for the benefits. Black Hebrew Israelites are like sugar babies that want to be with America for the benefits, but they hate America. They don't really care about America. Like the sugar baby don't really care about, you know, the person. They don't love the person. They're just there for the benefits. This is what you guys are doing as a black Hebrew Israelite that hates this country, as an immigrant that hates this country, and you want to claim that this country's evil, but you're running to this country for asylum, for help, and you hate it. This is like you're living a contradiction. It's like you're living in your parents' house and you hate your parents' house and you curse your parents all day long. Oh, mom, you're just jealous of me, mom. Well, get the hell out the house. If you don't like the house that you live in, go find a better house to live in. This is how I look at people that come to this country and complain. Meanwhile, your country's falling apart and is in shambles. Look at Mexico right now. Why don't you go take care of your country, fix your country? Why don't you stand up, be a brave Mexican, stand up to the cartels, and fix your country that's falling apart? But no, you want to come to America and you say that America's racist, but you're here for help and for protection, and you hate this very country that you're running to. You ask these people, what's the best country in the world? A Mexican will tell you the best country in the world is Mexico. Okay, well, why are you in California? Or why are you sitting over here in Florida? You're like a damn prostitute who's there just for the benefits, and you could care less about the person that you're getting the benefits from or the entity you're getting the benefits from. You don't care about that. You just want to better yourself. You're greedy, and you're a fucking narcissist. Is what's going on. But yeah. I'm seeing some funny comments, man. Yeah, there is there is such thing as white Hebrew Israelites. A black Hebrew Israelite is something that they call themselves. That's something that Hebrew Israelites called themselves. Y'all want to run away from that term now all of a sudden, but I'm old enough to know, and I've been in this shit long enough to remember that you guys were the ones that called yourselves black Hebrew Israelites. Now you don't want to call yourselves that. It's very interesting and very convenient. Now all of a sudden you're not black Hebrew Israelites. Meanwhile, y'all were calling yourselves that since back in the 90s, since back that I can remember. Y'all were calling yourselves black Hebrew Israelites. Now you don't want to call yourself that. Very convenient. It's very strange. You know why there are black Hebrew Israelites as opposed to the actual Hebrew Israelites? Because y'all are not the real Hebrew Israelites. So we need to distinguish the real from the fake. And we do that by calling y'all black Hebrew Israelites. So that way we know that you guys are the fake ones. That's why we do that. So now you understand? Stop asking the same questions all the time. Why do you call us black Hebrew Israelites? Are there such thing as white Hebrew Israelites? Well, there's such thing as the real Hebrew Israelites, and then there's the fake Hebrew Israelites, which are the black Hebrew Israelites. That's you guys. Listen, homie, we all the same. Yeah, go tell that shit to the black Hebrew Israelites that want to enslave white people. Black Americans are God's chosen people. This guy's a troll. You know. Anybody that wants to join, man, we still got some time left. You can join. Come on, man. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna come right back. I gotta go to the refrigerator. Good there. The black Hebrew Israelites. Somebody said, Captain Cesariak said, that's like calling somebody the N word. Oh my God. What a clown that dude is. And then when we released videos that his leader, Yohana, was calling themselves black Hebrew Israelites back 2014, that just gets ignored and nobody responds to it. There's no correction ever. They just proceed on with the next show, with the next teaching, and it don't matter. It don't matter that we call ourselves black Hebrew Israelites. We don't want to call ourselves that anymore. So then why don't you say that? Because you were the ones that originally called yourselves black Hebrew Israelites. The real Hebrew Israelites are the ones that you read about in the Bible. The black Hebrew Israelites are the people today claiming to be Hebrew Israelites. We need to make that distinction. We have to. But welcome to San Miguel TV. Give this video a thumbs up. You know. No, Gorilla Hebrew was the dude that got pegged, or that was fantasizing about pegging. I don't even know, man. I don't want to put out misinformation. I don't give a shit about Gorilla Hebrew like that. But just for the sake of being correct and being factual, I'm not gonna say that he got pegged because that's not what happened. But he was commenting with his wife or one of his wives about fantasizing about some type of pegging. I don't even know, bro. It's crazy. But yeah, black Hebrew Israelites are not the real Hebrew Israelites. The evidence that y'all present to be actual evidence, supporting that you're Hebrew Israelites, it's not good. It's not good evidence. So, we can use Deuteronomy 28:68, for example, the slave ships and blah, blah, blah. The scripture in Deuteronomy 28:68 says that the Lord shall send you back again to Egypt. The Lord shall send you to Egypt again But this time is going to be with ships. And then it says, by the way whereof I spake unto you. This is the most important part of the scripture that y'all always ignore. What does by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again? What does that mean? Please, somebody tell me in the comment section. Y'all could join. I posted the link to join all over Facebook, man. If you guys are on Facebook, go look up Jews versus Hebrew Israelites. Go look up Dismantling Hebrew Israelism. I posted the link so you can join as a guest. I don't know how to do that right now through the comment section. I don't think I can. Or you could find my YouTube or my Facebook channel, San Miguel TV. Go look at the post where I shared the link to join this very video as a guest. Not just for you to watch as a viewer, but so you could join as a guest and actually have a conversation with me. You know? So, I'm just waiting for some of y'all to join. Anybody could join. You could be an enemy, a frenemy, a friend. You could be a hate watcher. You could be a love watcher. I know a lot of y'all are hate watching. Because I've had people come on, only 11 thumbs up. Come on, man. There's been so many of y'all. That's because the majority of y'all that come on are Hebrew Israelites. That's why. That's why. And I ran. I ran so far away. Let's take this thing apart. This is R2D2 right here. Beep boop beep. Beep boop beep. Would love for anybody to join the live stream, especially a Hebrew Israelite. A black Hebrew Israelite. Yeah, we're talking about the murderer of Martin Luther King's mother. Her name was Alberta King. She was murdered in 1974 by this guy right here. His name is what? Marcus W. Chenault. From Ohio, Cincinnati. Hebrew Israelite. That pretty much murdered Martin Luther King's mother. We've been talking about that. I know that happened 50 years ago, 52 years ago almost. But, people in the Black Hebrew Israelite community love to speak against Christians. I want any of y'all Black Hebrew Israelite to please tell me, show me an instance where a Christian killed a Black Hebrew Israelite. And I could show you an instance where Black Hebrew Israelites killed Jewish people. They killed Christians. There's many stories. They love to post images like this. The AI images that's going around right now is crazy. Need to be free. What's good, bro? Green screen poppy, baby. I ran so far away. Bro, I seen this video. They put Donald Trump's face on the guy. The whole original video. I forget the original song. I think is Flock of Seagulls. Flock of Seagulls is the name of that band. And I ran. That's my shit, bro. Yo, we gotta get up again, brother. I got nothing but love for you, man. And everybody else, man. I've been thinking about y'all for a while, man. Gary, Emmanuel, Larry, all you guys, man. I got nothing but love for these cats, man. Man, we done left this Hebrew Israelite shit years ago. We're decades out, over a decade out of this shit. Going on 2 decades, man. Craziness, man. Need to Be Free is one of the originators, man. The originator, non greater. My man came out of this shit in like 2009, man. 2008 was trying to tell me way back then, brother, get the hell out. And I was listening with one ear and the other ear, the other foot in, 1 foot out. I know what to do, but I was listening, brother, and I appreciate you, man, because shit, yo, I don't think if it wasn't for you, I don't know what, like, you definitely helped me see certain things, I don't know where I would be regardless, but I know that you played a great part into me waking up and realizing like we were lied to, bro. We were lied to about our connection, the Hispanic black connection. And regardless if we were lied to, even if we're not Hebrew Israelites from 12 tribes, Simeon and Judah, we still got nothing but love for each other regardless. We don't have to be Simeon and Judah for us to get along. Look how we still family till this day. We're still brothers, man. That shit was over before it started, somebody said. But yeah, man. This is some of the stuff that's going on. Some of the AI, some of the AI imagery that they're posting. The Black Hebrew Israelism, baby. This is 2026. San Miguel TV is live and popping right now. It is March 6th, 2026. Amazing. 11:24 p.m. Eastern Time. Out here, coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida, on a cool, brisk night. Yeah, man. We definitely won out here. I mean, need to be free. Rebel Alliance Media, the Injustice League, the Detoxification Station, the Taza Detox, whatever. San Miguel TV, that's much obliged. Muito obrigado, as they say in Brazil. We've been doing this shit, tearing apart, tearing down the ICGJC, tearing down the ICGJC and the whole Hebrew Israelite movement via the ICGJC. I mean, because we're destroying the ICGJC, we're actually destroying part of the Hebrew Israelite community. Whether these guys want to admit it or not, you might be in IUIC thinking that, yeah, well, that's the ICGJC. Well, you guys are all connected in one way or another, whether you like it or not. You're connected to the ICGJC as an IUIC member. You're connected to ISUPK. You're connected to GOCC, Sakari, and Sakari done broke the hell up. I don't know what's going on with Sakari. We need to do another video on what's happening with Sakari, man. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man. And then you got cats like Deacon Hakab and Brother Hassad who have now left Sakari and started their own group called the Genesis Israelites, man. But yeah. Yeah, man, at this point, this Black Hebrew Israelite stuff it's nothing but fantasy. Their AI imagery is just a perfect example of how ridiculous these people are. You know, you got white people like this talking about the white man's the devil. And it reminds me of myself, man. It reminds me of myself. Like, I'm very white. And I used to be out here talking about the white man's the devil. Man, I remember sitting there with my brother Alex, Need to Be Free, watching them Brother Polite videos, destroying ISUPK, man. And ISUPK, that's why they love the fact that Brother Polite got caught up in that whole mess. And that shit is definitely an embarrassing moment for the conscious community. I mean, because sometimes people represent a community. You come out here talking about Sonetter TV, and you're a spokesman for the conscious community. Now, when you go down, you're gonna go down, and the conscious community kind of took a hit with you. So it's just like how Tazadakia was a representative of the Hebrew Israelite community, and when he went down, when he took a hit and was exposed, the Hebrew Israelite community was exposed along with Tazadakia. It's all connected, man. They all connected, one with each other and one with another. Need to be free. Do you recognize this cat right here? Needs to be free. Who that right there, man? Who goes there right there? Uh oh. What's his name? Earl Tremaine Gaines, man. What a shame, man. This cat is a black Hebrew Israelite that got caught up messing around with underage girls, man. And all I can do is expose you at this point. All you cats out here that claim to be Hebrew Israelites. This cat right here that was with Army of Israel. I'm gonna keep exposing y'all for doing nothing but dirt out here. And y'all represent a community where y'all supposed to be blameless. And this is the type of stuff that you're doing. You kill your own girlfriend, who was a 19-year-old. His girlfriend was 19 years old, man. And this thing was 49. Or his girlfriend was 20. No, yeah, his girlfriend was 19 and he was 47. Hebrew Israelite that killed his own girlfriend. You know? Yeah, it's Kalataziyar, Kalah. Kalataziyar. I was going to do a video on him, but I'm like, I'm going to just keep that in the background there. Not really expose him, but, you got to know who's these people amongst us, man. Like we were out here. We were out here, damn, spending, allowing our children to hang out with some of these cats, man. It's just crazy, bro. Like, we got to protect our family. And we were allowing our family to come, just to be joined up with people that we had no idea that were doing so much evil. Like Yashar and Kodash Bar. There's a lot of people, man. Zion's another goddamn child molester. Exposing all you cats. I did a video on that cat. This guy right here. This guy right there. Arrested for sex trafficking, man. You believe this shit? Arrested for sex trafficking. This is a Hebrew Israelite right here. And that's his older brother, who I was very cool with. But he he didn't want to have no more words with me. And this was before I exposed his fucking crazy ass brother, man. Before all of that. He didn't want to talk. And all I was doing was saying, hey, man, we just want to know what's going on over here. We just want to know what's going on over here, man. What's happening in the Hebrew Israelite community? Why are y'all trying to fucking get these underage women? What is happening? This is a list of sex offenders, man. I was looking for these cats. You can find all of that as public record. You can find out who's the damn sex offenders out here. Shit, a lot of these cats be Hebrew Israelites. A lot of these gentlemen be Hebrew Israelites, like these cats. Boom. Yeah, they have fallen. They have fallen very hard. He said he taught the English, not the Lashon Kodash. Yeah, we used to be a part of a Hebrew Israelite group. The brother in the comment section need to be free. Go check out his channel. His videos got crazy views. Some of y'all might not know who he is, but man, he goes way back. We've been talking about this stuff for a long time. What's good? Assassin's Creed is in the house. Yo, give this video a thumbs up. Want to make sure this thing goes out and spreads out. The video might end really soon though, because I don't got much battery life left, and even while I'm charging as I'm live, that doesn't even do it anymore. I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of them, right? A lot of these cats get caught up in this stuff, bro. It's like, I don't know why that's attractive to them, but then you also got cats that like will murder, like Joy Morgan. This is the IUIC, man. Let me see. Hold on. Take myself out. Joy Morgan's murderer was this is in the UK. This ain't even America anymore. This is the UK. Joy Morgan. These guys are international at this point. International, planetary, international. These guys look like damn Star Trek people, man. This is how they're looking. Yeah, they get caught up in all of that stuff, though, man. And they think they'll tell you that black people are the real Mexicans, and be like, "Look at me, I'm Mexican now. Look at me." But they might as well have gone to the Quality Learning Center. This is what the Hebrew Academy was. It was like the Quality Learning Center, or AKA the Quality Learning Center, in Minnesota and shit. He was out here preaching some crazy Hebrew Israelite stuff, man. Like, they literally were training Hispanics to think that they're black. White ass Hispanics, like myself, like Gabar Yala, Kazakala, Rapayala, and a bunch of other cats from New York that were very white. They were trying to make us think that, well, yeah, you down with us, and you white, and you not white, you black. Like, those are the only choices out here in Latin America. Latin America, you got indigenous, you got black, and you got European DNA all mixed up. Sometimes it'll be more black than European, sometimes, and more usually. And especially like if you go to Brazil, Argentina, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, there's actually more European DNA. When you go to Mexico and Bolivia, and sometimes some parts of Chile, you have more indigenous DNA. The African DNA is actually, there's more African DNA in Dominican Republic, Panama, and Brazil has a good amount. But Brazil is very white too. Don't get it twisted. Brazil has a lot of European DNA. Portuguese DNA is all up in there. Sometimes the biggest percentage of African DNA that you'll find is like 35% will be the average. There's sometimes where you got an 80% African, Dominican. The motherfucker's black as hell. Me no black, and the nigga black as hell. And but that's not the average. The average African DNA is like 35, 30, 25% in a lot of parts of Latin America. Some countries would be like 10, 15%. Argentina has very little African DNA. And Brazil does too. It's just that there's so many people in Brazil that it's so spread out. But yeah, I don't got much time left, man. Welcome and thank you for everybody that came. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. I think I'm done for the night. Um, I'll come back another time. I'm gonna go to the Strawberry Festival this weekend out in Plant City, and I'll probably live stream out there. I'll see how it goes. I'll see how the situation is. I want to spend the time with my family, but I also want to live stream and show y'all what's going on over there. The Central Florida Fairgrounds just finished. That shit was pretty dope. I did a little, I did some recording out there, and I might post a video on that too. But yeah, show me some love. Like I said, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and all that shit. Like the video and comment, and catch the other videos that I posted. Cause right now I'm telling you, they're shadow banning the shit out of me, man. They're not letting me post certain videos. But it's all good. We're going to keep it going. Thank y'all for joining the San Miguel TV, straight out of fucking Florida, live from Orlando. Thank y'all for joining. Show me some love. And I'll probably come back on another time, man. If y'all want to join, and be a guest on San Miguel TV, send me a shout out. You can send me an email on sanmiguelpana@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook, San Miguel TV. Find me on Instagram, San Miguel TV. Find me on Twitter or X, San Miguel TV. And I'm also on TikTok at San Miguel TV. You can find me if you look for me. You just gotta know how to look. All right. Love y'all, man. Nothing but love. Peace and prosperity and all that good stuff, man. Catch you on the next one. Peace out, y'all. One.